Good afternoon, guys. Well, let's start. They barred a lot more than I thought they did. White House bars CNN, New York Times, others. It says here, just a few hours after Trump warned during his CPAC speech that we're going to do something about the media. He did just that after the White House barred a number of news outlets from covering. I mentioned some before in another video. However, I didn't know that they had barred CNN. And Spicer decided to hold an off-camera gaggle with reporters inside the West Wing instead of the traditional on-camera briefing in the James S. Brady briefing room. He says, okay, here's all of them that were outed or left out. Among the outlets not permitted to cover the gaggle were various news organizations that Trump has singled out in the past, including CNN, New York Times, The Hill, Politico, BuzzFeed, the Daily Mail, BBC, the New York Times, and the New York Daily News. The one that they left out before was CNN. And they said several non-mainstream outlets were allowed into Spicer's office, including Breitbart, the Washington Times, and One American News Network. Several other major news organizations were also let in to cover the gaggle. That group included ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, Reuters, Bloomberg. However, AP and Time have boycotted the event. That's fine. So things are really, really changing. And then this one you might even be more interested in. It says it talks about 4 departments that can be eliminated. No big deal. One, the Department of Homeland Security. That costs us $51 billion. As they said, somehow the United States managed to get along for more than 225 years without it. Do we really need it? Probably not. 2, the EPA, $8.3 billion. Yeah, we don't really need that one either. And that one's been more of a pain in the ass than anything. And then 3, Department of Interior. Don't need that one. And then Department of Agriculture. This is the most expensive. $153 billion. $153 billion. We could save a lot of money by doing away with those. And we also don't need the Department of Education because every state has its own Department of Education. And, you know, when I was over in Denver many years ago, I went into the building, the Department of Education. Beautiful. I mean, all these buildings are gorgeous. And, you know, it's like, if we're going to have the buildings, then for crap's sake, let's have people there that actually matter. Let's not have people there that rubber stamp whatever the feds do. We don't need the feds telling the states what to do. You know, we can decide that. Anyway, moving on. Police fired tear gas, rubber bullets to break up anti-immigrant protests in South Africa. South African police used rubber bullets, tear gas, and water cannon to disperse anti-immigrant protesters in the capital, Pretoria. Armed police had formed a barrier between rival crowds of citizens and non-nationals marching in Pretoria. Here's what's going on. And I learned this several years ago from people that lived there. You take the country, divide it down the middle. The part of the country that has mostly whites in it, they have been flooding people from other nations into there. And immediately, and I mean immediately, giving them the ability to vote and everything. I mean, and so as a result, the government has just what they want. They're diluting the population that had always run South Africa. And so now what you have are a bunch of thugs running South Africa, if it's still the same group. And it sounds like it is. And so how can I put it? Nothing's perfect, but let's put it this way. You have so much corruption there, it's not even funny. And you have chaos. Just saying. That's from people who live there. And the people who actually make that country go have been leaving in record numbers. Retail stocks surge on report Trump opposes House version of border tax. You know something? Paul Ryan's just trying to screw it up. He's an idiot and a puppet. We know that. He's on the side of Soros. The status quo is not working. The conventional objections to degrowth boil down to it isn't the status quo, so it can't work. Actually, the status quo that isn't working. Things haven't worked in this country for a long time. It's just those of us who work and pay taxes. We've been holding it together for a long, long time. Here's something. State Department writes anti-leak memo, which quickly leaks to the Washington Post. It says the State Department legal office prepared a 4-page memo for Secretary of State Rex Tillerson, warning of the dangers of leaking by State Department employees. It promptly leaked to me. You know, eventually they're gonna figure out a way to track this shit. I'm just saying, somebody is going to go to jail. And that deal where French voters call on Obama to run for president, it is a small minority in France. It's your far left idiots who haven't got the brains to blow their nose. Chinese import data suggests OPEC is lying about a production cut. It says, to those cynics who accuse the self-monitoring OPEC and its various agencies of lying that it has implemented last year's agreed upon production cuts, China just released January crude import data, which validates this skepticism. Yeah. Here's, they say they caught on tape an iPhone that spontaneously exploded. Apple's investigating. I don't know that I believe that. French prosecutor to open official probe into Francois Hollande's embezzlement allegations. I think he's in trouble. You know, I really do. It's not that they just don't like him. I think he's just corrupt. What else here? Here's what happens when Trump finds you know, when the day comes and he finds who's been leaking the stuff, they can be in hot water. They can go to jail. It's going to depend upon the leak that it was, the type of leak, and all the rest. But the bottom line is they can end up in jail for a long time. Let's see here. Data fraud at Chinese province suggests local GDP numbers are as much as 20% overcooked. The GDP of China's northeastern industrial province of Liaoning collapsed by 23% in normal terms once it was no longer able to cook its books, and suggested that, if extrapolated to the rest of China, the data in the world's second biggest economy is nothing short of catastrophic. I think China has I think China has some real problems, and I think they're tired of dealing with North Korea. CNN responds to being blocked from White House press briefing. Well, we're just going to keep right on reporting. That's what we're going to do. We're just going to keep right on reporting. Yeah, we're going to make that shit up. We don't give a doggone what y'all think down there. By damn, we've been making shit up for 25 years, and we can make it up for another 25. We don't... You guys get the point. You know, I don't know where that shit comes from in me. I tell you what, it just bursts on out of there sometimes. You know? And then up here it says, time for a reality check. Serious reform isn't coming until the end of 2017 at the earliest. It says, simply put, stocks have gotten way ahead of themselves at the earliest. Major reforms will get signed into law at the end of 2017, and the actual economic impact won't be felt until the mid-2018. I agree. It's going to take a while for all the jobs to gin up, it just takes a while to get everything going. It doesn't happen overnight, but we know that the companies are coming back. We know that they're building and things are happening. Guys, that's all for now, but you know, I'll be back. You know, Arnie was a crappy, horrible, horrible governor. You know, I mean, the number of good governors, well, let's face it, we can count on one hand probably in the whole country. Certainly not Colorado's. And but you know, he was entertaining as hell as an actor. I have to say, I really found him to be an entertaining individual to watch. So, having said that, I'll be back. God bless y'all. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.